Hello, hello, and welcome. Thank you for choosing this session. I'm so excited to spend the next about 30 minutes with you. I know there's tons of great speakers. I can't wait to go through the summit with you, but thank you for being here and being present. I appreciate you so much. So this presentation is called AI Habits That Save Hours of Time, really. And what I'm going to share with you is my Burn Bright, Not Out approach to time management. So let's go. Okay, by the end of this session, you're going to be able to use AI to clarify your big vision, turn long-term goals into weekly focus, finish each day with less overwhelm, and save hours by managing time that works with your brain. First, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Sybil Hall. I'm a best-selling author of the book, Burn Bright, Not Out, and this is where I got the idea for my brand name and all of my products. I'm also a journal and planner creator. I'm an Amazon expert, both KDP, print on demand, as my book is, as well as manufactured products through Amazon FBA. I'm also a community builder on School, like many of you, an amazing place to be. And I'm a brand creator. I've created my brand, Burn Bright, Not Out. So I'm super excited to be here with you today. So before we get started, we need to talk a little bit about time, okay? I love this book, if you haven't read it before, by Gay Hendricks, The Big Leap. In this book, he talks about Einstein time. He talks about how time is actually not fixed. It's created by how we think. We can actually create time in our days and our weeks and our years by how we think, feel, and choose to focus. Okay? Because when mental energy is protected, time expands. If we feel like we can accomplish what we want to accomplish in a set amount of time, it actually expands and we get into flow, right? But the opposite happens when we're in time scarcity, which is where most of us unfortunately live, is in time scarcity. And what happens is the brain, and I'll talk about this on the next slide, especially the prefrontal cortex, the front of your brain, gets overloaded. And so time actually gets wasted, right? And that's the beginning of burnout. So my goal with my business is really to help prevent burnout through daily actions. Some of those I'm going to share with you here today. So we also need to talk a little bit about our executive function skills. They live here in the prefrontal cortex, and as it says there, they are skills. Now, skills are things that you can learn, okay? Skills are learnable with practice and turning them into habits. So this is really important. Our brains have plasticity. I have such a hard time with that word. But living in the prefrontal cortex are things like our working memory, goal setting, planning, and time management. Time management's the one we're going to zoom in on here. Self-regulation, accountability, and organizational. These are all foundational, right? They are so important for everything we do. Really, they work together with the entire brain, but almost all information goes through the prefrontal cortex first in that working memory, okay? And these skills run on automatic every day, way faster and way more realistically than motivation does, okay? So when our executive functions are overloaded, everything is literally harder. When this part of the brain is all jumbled up because we have too many things in our working memory, or we haven't managed our time, or we're unorganized, literally whatever we're going to do after that is harder, okay? So a day without intention looks like too many tasks, unplanned work, never having an end time, right? You're ignoring your energy. You're just going because it's on the list and you have to get it done, is what you're telling yourself. And this is not really a motivation problem. It's a time management problem. And the solution is a process I'm going to share with you here today that using AI, I can save hours every single day by leveraging this understanding of our prefrontal cortex and how to build executive function skills. It's super simple, it's repeatable, and it will become a habit with practice. I know this because I am a former educator, teacher, and instructional coach. And so I have learned and practiced my own executive function skills alongside teaching them to my students through modeling and setting up their environment in ways that they can function at a higher level too. So here's the 3 time management habits that I'm going to teach you today. Okay. First one is vision first, then a 1-week focus, and then a daily execution. I'm not teaching you rocket science here. I'm teaching you a simple process that you can put in place every single day to be more productive and save yourself hours of time. So the first one, vision first. You may be a person who likes to do vision boarding. I've done it a few times and enjoy it. It's not quite my thing, but what I do a ton of is visualizing and making that future vision. I like to call it stupid goals, big dreams, way beyond where I might ever get. But what that allows me to do is to tell my brain, this is possible. If you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there. It's the same thing in a classroom with students. If I don't know what I'm trying to teach them and where they need to get to by the end of the lesson or unit, they won't get there. They'll kind of dabble. A few of them will get there, but not everyone, right? And so this is the same. If I don't dream big, I'm not going to get to those big places because your brain needs to process that, see that, and actually think it's real. Our brain doesn't know exactly the difference between thoughts and real lived experiences at the neuron level. And so we need to dream big and we need to tell ourselves we will get there. This is a huge mindset piece that's super important. Now, no, a lot of people don't like to do this because they say, my dream will change. I can never get there, right? And I want to say, yes, it will change. And that's okay. It should, right? But it gives you a place to start looking. It gives you data to track. It gives you points to reflect on. And then sure, change your goalposts, change your vision. I like to do this every single quarter as I start on my 12-week years, which I'll share a little bit more with you later in the workshop, because I want my dreams to change. And it's really cool to see how they evolve and then to look back and be like, wow, I did it. And we would have never done that if my husband and I hadn't talked it out on our walks or done our visioning work. So I like to use ChatGPT with my voice. Okay, so I'm going to go to the app on my phone. And the reason I like to use my voice is because that's the way the brain works. Everything I'm presenting to you here is based on neuroscience, okay? And what print is it's speech written down. Language happens in our brain and it comes out as speech. Humans developed systems of language and different languages where we write them down. So we do encoding, writing it down, and we do decoding, reading it, right? But what happens first is that speech. And so if you're using AI and you talk into it, you are saving yourself, just by doing that one thing, hours of time, because you have to process the speech, then type it, or then write it down, right? And so just speaking to ChatGPT or whichever AI you like to use will save you time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to model this for you. I'm going to push the little white button there, and I'm going to talk to my AI. You'll notice I will first make sure my AI is hearing me, because I can't tell you how many times I started talking, laid it all out, and I was like, that's beautiful, and then there's nothing recorded. It just happened to me again earlier at lunch when I was working with my computer. I was like, ugh. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure AI hears me. Second thing I'm going to do is a really messy dump on my vision. And then I'm going to give AI this prompt and we'll see what it gives us. Okay. Hello there. I'm going to do some thinking with you today.
Hello, Sybil. I'm excited to be part of that thinking process. Let's dive in. What's on your mind today?
Okay, first I'm going to give you some messy thoughts about my vision for the future, and then I'll give you the prompt of what I want you to do with it. So wait until you've had both of those things. Okay, so I'm really excited to be doing some visioning work today with you. I and my husband and I have this dream of building a business that makes us financially free as well as time free. And we want to live in 2 different countries and travel a lot more again. So as you probably know from my memory, I've lived in 5 different countries and traveled to over 40 countries at this point, but we've hardly done any of Latin America and South America and Central America. And so what our dream is to use our real estate here as rentals and all those things, but also live in them part-time, as well as live in maybe Panama or Belize. We still need to do all the investigating part-time, and then travel those areas of the world while doing what I love, building Burn Bright Not Out, and doing it to build financial freedom and time freedom so I can live the days how I want to do. So what I would like you to do is to capture my vision clearly, identify my themes and priorities, and do not turn these into tasks or a plan.
All right, I've got it. So, your vision is about crafting a life where you and your husband experience both financial and time freedom. The heart of it is blending real estate here, renting it out, living part time, and eventually diving into new adventures in places like Panama or Belize. Along the way, you'll explore Latin America and beyond, all while continuing to grow Burn Bright Not Out, your love project. The overarching themes: freedom, intentional living, travel, and continuing your mission of balance and well being. No tasks, just your beautifully big vision.
Okay, so not only did I use speech first, right? Speech is what my brain develops first to save me time. Hearing back, my listening comprehension is also stronger than my reading comprehension. And so, you know how AI, when you type, will give you like the longest answers in the world? If you're like me, I end up skimming through it. Hearing my response, while it's not as detailed as when I type, if I was going to turn this into like an email or a post, I would start typing at this point and say to do that, because it'll give me a totally different response than just this oral stuff. But for this purpose, I want you to do it orally to save you time in this process that you're going to repeat over and over, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write in my journal for about 20 minutes now. I'm going to spare you that. But what I would want you to do next, and what I do when I'm doing this practice not in front of an audience, I write my vision. Okay, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I handwrite my vision, but using tech together with handwriting is the way our brain will remember and move it forward faster, okay? Ultimately saving us long-term time, because the connection between our hand and our brain and the feedback it gets, especially if you're using a felt tip marker or a pencil or a crayon, but you might not want to write in a crayon, gives you the most feedback. And this is scientifically proven. So it's like I said it out loud, speech. I heard it, listening comprehension. I wrote it, feedback to the brain the third time. Okay? So don't skip that step. I'm not going to do it now for the sake of time, but don't skip writing down after each of these steps. Okay? So habit 2 is to get a 1 week focus. So I went big picture. I'm going down to a week now. Okay. What you want to do is to translate this big vision, and mine was super big. I didn't even talk about like my products and my school and stuff like that. That's okay. I went super big. You might go a little smaller. Don't judge. Just do it. But basically, now we need to take down our big vision into 1 week tasks so we can get there in 3 to 5 years, whatever kind of your time frame might be on when you're trying to meet that bigger vision. Okay. Also, I work within a 12-week year. 12-week year is written by Brian P. Moran. Highly recommend this book. I'm in my second 12-week year now, and I'll actually be hosting a 12-week year beginning really shortly after this summit in my free school community if you want to join us. But basically what I do is I set 1 to 3 goals. They can be business and personal life. And then I set tactics for each of those goals that I track and take data and get a percentage of how much I do each week. And then every Monday I meet with a group of entrepreneurs and we all share how the week went, what we're going to change and keep for the following week. Because the reality is we need to accomplish something every week to get it to add up to that big vision in 3 to 5 years. But if I'm just working towards even a full year, and he talks about this a lot in the book, if I'm even working towards a full year, I think I can accomplish a lot more than I actually do, because our brains just can't handle that big length of time. Because we think everything is important and then we don't accomplish our weekly tasks like we need to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use AI voice again, and I'm going to tell them one of my 12-week goals. I only have about, I think it's 4 weeks left in this 12-week, maybe it's 3 weeks. Oh, it's Friday. And then I'm going to ask this prompt. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to tell you about one of my 12-week goals that's helping me move towards this vision, and that is to make $7,000 in 30 days of revenue on Amazon with my journals and planner and book. And I only have about 3 or 4 weeks left of this 12-week year. And so one of the main tactics that I'm working on is Amazon ads, but also Amazon listing optimization. And I've been really focused on ads and doing a really good job up to this point. And I know that in these last few weeks to meet that goal, I have to zoom in into my Amazon listing optimization and my A+ content. So what I want you to do is, based on this 12-week goal, I want you to choose one weekly highlight or one weekly goal or thing I will finish for next week, and then define what done looks like by Friday.
All right. So your weekly highlight next week will be completing your Amazon listing optimization overhaul. Done by Friday means that all your product listings have updated keyword-rich titles, bullet points, and descriptions. Your A+ content should be refreshed with your brand storytelling, new images, and clear calls to action. By Friday, you'll have all content uploaded and live with everything aligned to boost your conversions.
So I'm going to handwrite that down here. And the nice thing is it types it up for me. So I can look at it and just kind of take some notes. Okay. Third, we're going to get into daily planning. Now, I'm going to share an AI prompt with you that I use sometimes, but honestly, I've gotten so precise on what exactly I need to do for every single day using my very own planner that I just launched on Amazon. In my swag bag for this summit, I'm giving you a digital copy I haven't given to anybody. Please don't share it. It is just for you. It is copyrighted. But you could print it and try it out. I'll put it in there. It's in there but in A4 size as well as letter size, so everyone around the world can use it. But this is also available on Amazon, and I'll share a QR code at the end of this workshop. So if you'd like to purchase it, I use it every single day and just swear by it. But now we went big vision, week, day. Okay. Remember, this is time management, organization, working memory. We're working with our brains here. Okay. So daily execution, we want to finish each day well because daily wins compound fast. Is it James Clear says 1% better every day, right? They compound faster than like getting caught in overwhelm and not moving forward. So every day serves the week. My motto is, it's a good day to have a good day. I say that every single day. I end many posts in my school group that way, because when we have that attitude and mindset and we're doing this planning and time management to help ourselves, it truly is. Every day is a great day, and life feels pretty darn good. And then the week serves that bigger vision. Okay. So I'm going to use my voice again, and I'm going to say, based on that weekly goal or highlight, help me decide today's main focus or highlight. Now, you haven't seen me go back and forth with AI. I often do have to. I'm just kind of moving through this to show you how it works. But I'm also going to tell AI no more than 3 tasks for today. Okay. Okay, so based on that weekly highlight that I'm going to optimize my Amazon listings, there's multiple. I want you to help me decide today's main focus or highlight. So what am I going to make sure I get done today? No more than 3 tasks to do today to work towards that weekly goal.
Let's narrow it down. Today's main focus will be on prepping 1 key listing. First, do keyword research for your best-selling journal. Second, rewrite and refine that listing's title, bullet points, and description. Finally, draft or refresh the A+ content layout for that listing. By the end of today, you'll have 1 listing fully ready for upload tomorrow.
So that's actually a great way to do it, 1 listing at a time, all 3 components, because I have to put those same keywords and that same theme and in the whole product. So I love that. That actually is a really, really good way to move forward. Now I would write down those 3 priorities. I've got a spot here. One thing I want to mention about the Get Your Shit Done planner, because I would love for you to download it and try it out, is that it integrates self-care, gratitude, forgiveness into your workday. So it's really from that burn bright, not out. It's called your Get Your Shit Done Without Burning Out daily planner. So check it out. Don't forget. Okay. So why writing matters. So I used AI to really support my thinking, right? Speech, listening comprehension, okay? Supporting my thinking. But if I keep all of that thinking up here, I'm going to be overwhelmed. I'm going to burn out. Our brains are made for thinking, not storing it all. Okay? So when I write it down, I'm committing to that decision. Okay? And when decisions leave our brain, we have so much more time. Okay? I will time block. I'll do my brain dump. I'll time block. That's all on here. And then those time constraints also make me more productive and make me get my stuff done, as well as the time blocks for my breaks, my lunch, my shower, walking on the treadmill, walking outside, all of my self-care. Otherwise, if you're like me, you won't get it done. That's how I used to be before I burned out, wrote my book. Was like, I'm not doing that anymore. So here's a system recap. These are the AI habits that will save you hours, and I should say there, and help you burn bright, not out. Vision first, 1 week focus, daily execution. This works because it supports how your prefrontal cortex works. We've got to build the skills of executive functioning. And to put this into practice, I use this system every single day. I don't do the big vision planning every day. I do that once a quarter, but then I do the weekly and the daily. Okay? You can use AI alone, you can use paper alone, but together, that's where the magic happens. So I want to invite you to join in and build with us. I'm building a small community of entrepreneurs, and we're building in public together. We're focusing on how our brain works. We're focusing on burning bright, not out, by integrating self-care into our work. We're also starting a 12-week year together right after this summit. So now's the time to join us. And I promise you, it's not more work, it's real support and a lot of fun. The people inside are doing amazing, incredible things. And I'm just so honored to surround myself with them. And by the way, surrounding yourself with like-minded people is one of the most powerful things you can do. So as I mentioned, I have a best-selling book on Amazon. I've got a spiral journal. I've got 3 colors of my hardbound journal. These are all linen covers, premium thick off-white paper. And I've also got the Get Your Shit Done Without Burnout. This is so satisfying to rip off each day. Oh my gosh. So there's my QR codes. I'll make sure in my swag bag you can get access to all of that as well. But thank you for being here with me. Thank you for thinking about AI and how it can change your life and how it can save hours of your day with me. I'm sure grateful. It's hard for me to remember the before AI days, which aren't that long ago, because together with paper and computers and AI, we can surely burn bright, not out every single day. It's a good day to have a good day. Take care. Bye.